Good morning, Franklin. It's Monday morning. I'm Eric Stuckey, your city administrator, and it's time for the top 3 things you need to know this week. I'm going to start off on an important and serious topic. It relates to police-community relations. We all witnessed what happened in cities across the country, including Nashville, in terms of peaceful demonstrations that in many cases turned into violent interaction and destructive interaction. And wanted to let you know a few things related to that. First of all, our police and public safety team, both police, fire, also working with Williamson County, the Sheriff's Office, Brentwood Police and Fire, Emergency Management, were continuously monitoring the situation throughout the weekend, making sure we are aware of any intelligence coming in about potential activities in our community, and we're closely watching that to make sure we're keeping our community safe, and if folks chose to demonstrate, that it was done in a way that was peaceful and constructive. Fortunately, it was a pretty quiet weekend for us compared to a lot of places across the country. But I wanted to share with you some other information, some questions I've gotten from time to time from citizens that I think are helpful in understanding how we approach our work, especially related to community policing. First of all, we share and we grieve with those who have lost lives and who have lost lives unnecessarily in certain circumstances. And we all know those different news reports, but there are others that have occurred, and our hearts go out to folks who've been impacted by that. But first of all, I want to share with you some of the work we do to make sure that our interactions with the community are effective. There's extensive training for all of our officers, not just when they come on the force, but throughout their time serving in the community. We focus especially on community relations and interaction. Every officer at every rank receives training around violence de-escalation, around crisis intervention. Those key skills help reduce tensions and reduce the need for any violent activity or any physical interaction with citizens, and help us keep focused on serving and keeping all of our communities safe. There's also specific training around cultural awareness, around racial intelligence training, which helps us understand how to effectively communicate and work with, and again, de-escalate situations so that we're focused on service and helping our community. So that's important training that happens on a regular basis with every officer of the City of Franklin. We also track all of our interactions with citizens in terms of understanding, and I get an annual report from the police department, from the police chief, around those interactions to make sure that there's not a disproportionate interaction with any segment of our population. And so we're very carefully monitor both traffic stops, arrests, any other activities to make sure that we're aware of how we're interfacing with different groups throughout our community. So that's an important component. And then finally, we get a question from time to time. Some folks don't fully realize that we've had body cameras for almost 4 years now on all of our police officers. We have very strict guidance around how those are used to make sure they record all interactions with our residents and citizens and guests here in the community. They also are tracked in terms of those are available for public records requests if folks need them or want to follow up on an interaction with an officer. And also the way the technology works with those is whenever an officer activates their emergency sirens or lights on their vehicle, the body camera goes on along with the dashboard camera. And if ever a weapon is drawn, the camera automatically comes on, as well as the cameras of any officer within the vicinity of approximately 30 feet. All come on to make sure any interaction is recorded with our citizens. Again, we take that very seriously, and we're focused on public safety and serving the community as our focus. So that's your first item, an important item in terms of how we focus on community policing. Next, I want to focus on a couple items related to COVID-19 and continuing reopening of our services. We will begin this Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. opening all of our public office areas. We've had limited access in a number of areas, like here at City Hall. We've just been having the payment window as a central hub for transactions. Now all of our regular office spaces for public interaction will be open both at City Hall and all of our city offices across the community. So you can come in at least from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. All of those offices will be open. Some may be open a little longer or a little earlier to make sure we're capturing our customers in terms of their service needs. And again, you can call us and set up appointments, or you can interact with us 24/7 online or through text message or email or any of those techniques that continue to be very much available for you. And we have 24/7 service requests available on our website, as we've shown you a couple times in this top 3 things before. So that's available to you as well. And then finally, our parks have reopened and more amenities. Starting Friday, we reopened our fields for practice activity, our athletic fields, and then we've also reopened all of our restrooms, and our pavilions are open for groups of 50 or fewer people. So those are also available to you. We continue to look for guidance from the state around playgrounds. Playgrounds remain closed based on state guidelines, and once those are revisited or updated, we'll also be looking at that aspect, and you can look for probably another couple weeks for some additional parks amenities to come back online. Those are your top 3 things for this week. Again, our focus on community policing and serving and protecting the community, our reopening of public office spaces here at City Hall and throughout our city facilities, and then finally, our parks amenities reopening and additional components there as well. Thank you. Have a great week. Have a safe week. Take care.